What if the next time prices spike at the grocery store, you barely notice? What if your food didn't come from a shelf that can empty overnight, but from a patch of dirt that answers to no one? 11 crops can do that. 11 crops that store for months, feed you for pennies, and keep producing while the headlines get worse. These aren't fragile little salad greens. These are crisis crops. The calories, the protein, the staying power your pantry actually needs. Number 7 is a flower most people grow for looks, never realizing it's quietly a survival food. Number 8 is a grain that laughs at drought. And the bonus at the end? It's the one rule that separates a garden that just looks pretty from a garden that actually feeds your family. Let's dig in. If you're new here, this channel is about one thing: making sure your family never has to depend on an empty shelf. Here's the uncomfortable truth most people never stop to think about. The modern food system is built for convenience, not for you. It's a just-in-time machine. Food shipped thousands of miles, arriving the same week it's sold, with maybe 3 days of backup behind those bright full shelves. When that machine hiccups, a war overseas, a bad harvest, a tariff, a fuel spike, the price tag moves first. And sometimes the shelf goes bare right after. And here's the part nobody tells you. There's no money in teaching you to need them less. Seed companies are tiny next to the food giants. Self-reliance isn't a product anyone's advertising to you, so the knowledge that kept your grandparents fed through hard times quietly slipped away. But it's not gone. It's 11 crops deep, sitting in plain sight, waiting for someone to plant them. Today, I'm handing it back to you. Before we start, if a backyard that feeds you through any crisis sounds good, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. That's how you'll catch every one of these self-reliance breakdowns. And do me one favor, drop a comment telling me where you're growing from. A balcony, a backyard, or a full homestead. There's no wrong answer and no shame in starting small. Number 1, collard greens. Crisis crop. Number 1, collard greens. Most people walk right past them thinking greens are flimsy, fussy, gone with the first frost. Wrong on every count. Collards are thick, broad, blue-green leaves on a sturdy stalk, and they're one of the toughest food plants you can put in the ground. Here's why they're a crisis crop. You don't harvest them once, you harvest them for months. Pick the lower leaves, leave the top, and the plant keeps pushing out more. One row can hand you greens from spring straight through a hard freeze. Frost actually makes them sweeter. Ounce for ounce, they carry more calcium and vitamins than almost anything in the produce aisle, for a fraction of the cost. Steam them, drop them in soup, stuff them like a wrap. How often do you replant? You don't. You just keep cutting. They shrug off cold, pests, and neglect, plant a handful, water them in, and walk away. While the lettuce crowd is replanting every few weeks, your collards are still feeding you. Number 1 isn't glamorous. Crisis food rarely is. Number 2, dry beans. Crisis crop. Number 2, beans, specifically dry beans. Everyone grows a few green beans for the table. Almost nobody lets them go all the way to dry, and that's the mistake. Picture pods left on the plant until they rattle, the beans inside hard as little stones. That's not a failed harvest, that's a pantry. Here's the angle. Dry beans are protein you can store for years, without a fridge, a freezer, or a single drop of power. In a real crunch, protein is the hardest thing to grow and the first thing people miss. Beans hand it to you cheap. And they do something else. They pull nitrogen out of the air and feed your soil, so your dirt is actually better after you grow them. A handful of seed becomes jars of beans on a shelf. What do they need from you? Almost nothing. Sun, a little water, and patience. Let them dry on the plant. Shell them, store them sealed in the dark. Years from now, they'll still cook up into a hot meal. A bag of supermarket beans costs more every month. Yours is already in the jar. That's number 2, protein that waits for you. Number 3, beets. Crisis crop. Number 3, beets. Think of a beet as 2 crops hiding as one. People only picture the deep red root, but the leafy tops are food too, like a richer, earthier chard. So, one seed feeds you twice. Here's the payoff. Beets store for months in a cool cellar or even left in the ground under a blanket of mulch, and the greens give you fresh vitamins while you wait on the roots. Sweet, dense, filling, far more staying power than the watery salad stuff filling a store shelf for triple the price. Roast the roots, pickle them, ferment them, sauté the greens like spinach. Do they need babysitting? Not really, they handle cool weather, poor soil, and a gardener who forgets about them. Sow the seeds, thin them once, and let them swell underground. Pull a few when you're hungry. Leave the rest in the cold dirt like a natural refrigerator. Nothing about a beet panics when prices climb. Number 3 quietly does 2 jobs at once. Number 4, carrots. Crisis crop number 4. Carrots. We think of carrots as a snack. In a survival garden, they're storage, sweet, dense calories that hold for months without you lifting a finger. A good carrot is crisp, deep orange, and packed with sugar your body can actually use. Here's why it's a crisis crop. Leave them in the ground through fall, pile mulch on top, and the cold soil stores them better than your kitchen ever could. You dig them as you need them. Pound for pound, homegrown carrots outsweeten and outstore anything trucked in from across the country. Eat them raw, roast them, shred them into anything. How much do they ask of you? A patch of loose soil and time. Sow thick, keep the bed damp until they sprout, then mostly leave them be. The longer they sit in cool ground, the sweeter they get. While the store charges more for a tired bag every season, your row is sitting outside getting better. Number 4 is the crop your seller will thank you for. Number 5, winter squash. Crisis crop number 5, winter squash. This is where your garden starts feeding you through the dark months. A butternut or a Hubbard isn't a vegetable so much as a meal with a built-in storage container. Hard shell, dense orange flesh, real calories inside. Here's the magic. Pick a winter squash, cure it in the sun for a week, set it on a shelf, and it'll keep for months with no fridge. No canning, no freezing, no power. Just a squash on a shelf, waiting for a cold night. One vine can give you several, and each one is dinner. Compare that to the soft perishable produce a store wants you buying again every few days. What does the vine demand? Room to sprawl and a long, warm season. Plant it, point it at an empty corner, and let it ramble. Come fall, you'll be hauling in food that stores itself. So pause right there, because this is the moment the garden stops being a hobby and starts being insurance. Quick pause. If you're getting value out of this, smash that like button. It genuinely helps this kind of self-reliance content reach more families before they need it. And tell me in the comments, how many of these 11 are already growing in your yard? Drop the number. Now stay with me because the back half is where it gets serious, the calorie heavyweights, and that one grain that thrives on being ignored. Number 6, cabbage. Crisis crop. Number 6, cabbage. Underrated, unglamorous, and exactly what you want when times get tight. A dense head of cabbage is pounds of food wrapped tight around itself, and it stores for weeks in a cool spot just as it is. But here's the real reason it's a crisis crop. Cabbage is the gateway to fermentation. Turn it into sauerkraut or kimchi, and a few heads become jars of food that last through winter, and actually get healthier as they age. Salt, cabbage, a jar. That's it. Free probiotics, no refrigeration. Try buying that nutrition at the store. You'll pay a premium for a tiny tub. How needy is cabbage? It likes cool weather and steady water, and that's about all. Set out the seedlings, keep them fed, and let those heads tighten up. One bed can fill a shelf with kraut. Number 6 turns a humble vegetable into a stocked pantry, and that's a survival skill, not just a garden. Number 7, sunflowers. Crisis crop number 7, the one I promised you. Sunflowers. Everyone grows them for the bright faces and the bees, never realizing they're standing in front of a survival food. Look past the petals to the center. That heavy head fills with seeds packed with fat and protein, the two things hardest to get out of a garden. Here's the angle. Fat is fuel, and most vegetables have almost none. A sunflower head hands you a pile of it. Eat the seeds roasted, press them for oil, or save a head back for next year's planting, and feed the empty shells to your chickens. Does it need pampering? It thrives on neglect. Sunflowers grow in rough, dry, forgotten soil where fussier plants quit. Poke a seed in the dirt, stand back, and let it climb toward the sun on its own. While the store charges more for a small bag of seeds every month, you're growing fat, protein, and beauty in the worst corner of the yard. Number 7 proves the best crisis food is often hiding in plain sight. Number 8, amaranth. Crisis crop number 8, the grain that laughs at drought. Amaranth. Most people have never grown grain in their lives and assume it's farmers' work. This one changes that. Those tall plants with the deep red feathery plumes were a staple for the Aztecs, and for good reason. Here's why it's a crisis crop. Amaranth gives you two foods at once. The young leaves cook up like a richer spinach. The plumes pour out thousands of tiny seeds you can simmer like a porridge or pop like miniature popcorn. Gluten-free, protein-rich, ancient. And it does all of this in heat and dry soil that would flatten corn. When does it quit on you? Almost never. It sends a deep root down for water and keeps going while everything around it wilts. Scatter the seed, thin it, and let it tower. One plant drops enough seed to replant your whole patch for free. While modern grains depend on rain and rich fields, this one feeds you on neglect. Number 8 is a 5,000-year-old answer to a very modern problem. Number 9, garlic. Crisis crop number 9, garlic. This is the one preppers hoard. And once you understand it, you will too. Garlic is the definition of plant one's food. Break a bulb into cloves, push them in the ground, and walk away for months. You barely touch it. Here's the payoff. Each clove becomes a full bulb. Those bulbs store for the better part of a year in a cool, dry spot, and one harvest replants itself forever. You just save your biggest bulbs for the next round, but it's more than flavor. Garlic has been used as medicine for thousands of years, and in a world where a pharmacy can run short, that matters. How much work is it? Almost none. Plant it, mulch it, forget it, harvest it. It fends off pests and cold on its own. While the store marks up every bulb, yours hangs braided in the kitchen, free and renewing. Number 9 is food, medicine, and a seed bank in one papery little package. Number 10, sweet potatoes. Crisis crop. Number 10, sweet potatoes. If you only had a small patch and wanted maximum food from it, this is near the top of the list. Sweet potatoes are dense calories, vitamins, and sugar bundled into a tuber that stores for months. And the generosity doesn't stop underground. The leaves are edible greens too, so the plant feeds you all summer before you ever dig the roots. Here's why it's a crisis crop. It shrugs off the heat and drought that wreck other crops, sprawling across poor soil like it's doing you a favor. Plant a few slips, let the vines cover the ground, and they'll smother weeds while they're at it. When does it complain about the weather? It doesn't. Heat is exactly what it wants. Cure the roots after harvest and they'll keep for months in a warm, dark corner. Compare that to a store charging more for less every season. Number 10 is 2 crops, near zero effort, and a tuber that practically stores itself. Number 11, potatoes. Crisis crop number 11, the king. Potatoes. There's a reason whole nations once lived on them. Pound for pound, in a small space, almost nothing on earth grows more pure calories than a potato. Here's the truth that makes it the ultimate crisis crop. A single seed potato, cut into pieces, can multiply into 10 or 20 pounds of food. You can grow them in the ground, in a barrel, in a sack on a balcony. They don't care. Dig them up, cure them, and they'll store in a cool, dark cellar through the entire winter. No power, no canning. This is the crop that stands between a family and an empty stomach when everything else fails. How hard are they to grow? You barely have to try. Bury them, hill the soil up over the stems, and wait. While the store's prices climb, you're hauling sacks of calories out of your own dirt. Number 11 isn't exciting. It's just the difference between worrying about food and not. Save the best for last, and the best is the humble potato. Now the bonus I promised you, the one rule that ties all 11 together. Here's the mistake almost every new gardener makes. They plant a salad. Tomatoes, lettuce, peppers, a few herbs. Pretty, fresh, and almost useless when it actually counts. A salad can't carry you through a hard winter. A pantry can. So here's the rule. Don't plant a garden, plant a pantry. Every real food supply does 4 jobs. Calories, your potatoes, sweet potatoes, squash. Protein, your beans and your grain. Fat, your sunflowers. And shelf life, the crops that store for months with no power. The roots, the squash, the garlic, the dry beans, the kraut. Look back at the 11 and you'll see it. Each one was chosen to fill one of those 4 boxes. Plant only greens and you'll eat well in July and starve in January. Fill all four, and your backyard becomes a grocery store that never closes and never raises its prices. Here's your one action today. Grab a piece of paper and split your garden into those four jobs: calories, protein, fat, storage. Then make sure something on your list covers each one. That single habit is the line between a hobby and real security. And once you start saving your own seed from these crops, it compounds. A one-time effort that feeds you for the rest of your life. That's not gardening. That's quiet freedom most people will never have. So let's run them back, because a list like this is only worth it if you actually plant it. Number 1, collard greens. Months of free greens from one cut and come again row. 2, dry beans. Protein on a shelf for years. 3, beets. Root and greens from a single seed. 4, carrots. Sweet calories the cold ground stores for you. 5, winter squash. Meals that keep for months with no fridge. 6, cabbage, a head you can ferment into a stocked pantry. 7, sunflowers, fat and protein hiding behind a pretty face. 8, amaranth, an ancient grain that feeds you through a drought. 9, garlic, food, medicine, and a seed bank in one bulb. 10, sweet potatoes, 2 crops and near zero effort. And 11, the king, potatoes, more calories per square foot than almost anything alive. 11, crisis crops. Not one of them cares what the headlines say or what the price tag does. That's the whole point. The food system was built for convenience, not for you, but a patch of dirt that answers to no one changes everything. If this opened your eyes even a little, subscribe and turn on the bell so the next breakdown finds you before you need it. And tell me down in the comments which crop you're planting first. I read them and I'll point you in the right direction. Remember this the next time prices climb, because they will. The food you grow can't be priced out of reach. Get your hands in the dirt this season. Your future self and your family will be glad you did. I'll see you in the next one.